Welcome, you're watching Those Guys. I'm Alfred, with me here is Conan. We're going to talk about Dota 2 and our origins today.
Yeah, I prepared a list of topics today. We're going to talk about the latest patches, updates, the client, the Steam client. And then first off, let's start off with the history. How did you get into Dota?
Sounds good.
The mobile world.
How did I get into Dota? I started with public games back in around 2006, and for me, I was just learning like the mechanics of the game. I was pretty impressed with it. Then I happened upon this league called TDA, which was kind of like the step above public games, sort of like the minor leagues, I guess.
Like an IC Cup of StarCraft, kind of, or
yeah, that's a fair analogy, I think. I don't know. So I started playing those higher level games where you can get banned for actually leaving. Like leaving actually matters. So you had to like sometimes sit and endure like hour-long games where you're losing, but
because the no concede.
Because the no concede, by the way. But so I mean, I'm glad I sat through them because it was worth like learning the game and meeting some cool people.
And then from there, were you involved in any clans?
I started a guild with my friends Wog and Dr. Green, and pretty much we played like matches on G Arena. Like, have you heard of G Arena at all?
I'm a Dota pub scrub man.
Okay, so like G Arena is basically like an outside client. Like you still use Warcraft 3, but you don't log on to Battle.net.
Yeah, you use separate server. You can,
correct.
When you used to be able to LAN with Blizzard products.
So you could LAN against like people in Russia or like Malaysia, like those teams like that you would never ever play against on Battle.net because of the way the servers are configured, and actually have like decent latency games. So
you're pretty G unit in Dota, fair to say.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not great or anything.
I got kind of forced into the game at around the same time you did.
Sure.
But it was purely casual level. I played with my buddy and a healthy amount on Blizzard public servers, which was an experience. I'm sure you know about that. Where bans, everyone's banned, getting banned, but it didn't matter because you could just recreate a new account. Map packs were everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And it was probably the most enraging experience in my life in any video game ever.
Pretty frustrating sometimes, yeah.
Okay, so now we're done with that. Now we're both in the Dota 2 beta.
Mm-hmm.
How many games have you racked
up? Luckily, I've racked up about 50 or 60, I think.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to get into the beta beginning of last month from a buddy from Geese Tower. Shout out to Geese Tower. I played about 60, 70 games, mostly with those guys that are kind of new to MOBA world. I keep saying MOBA. I gotta stop saying MOBA.
Yeah. I hate that word.
No more MOBA. Strictly, they're new to the Dota world, I should say, the online battle arena. Okay, so how do you feel about the engine so far?
I like it a lot. I think Valve did a great job. They recently improved their engine for like lower end computers, so a lot more people are able to enjoy playing the game, and I like matchmaking. I like how you can do all sorts of fine things we'll talk more about later. We'll expound upon that.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk to you. I was going to ask you specifically about. There's a big concern over the turning speed in Dota 2. That's a big issue right now because in Han it's very snappy.
On the heroes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's slower than it is in Han or LoL, and there's an issue with the speed too, which I think is kind of a misconception because the camera in the original Dota was kind of close to the hero.
Sure.
But in this, it's pulled back, so it gives the illusion that it's moving a little bit slower than it is in Han.
Yeah, I think you're onto something with that for sure.
But I do believe it is a little bit slower, but I think the camera has a lot to do with how people interpret the speed. They think it's much slower than it is. How do you feel about the turning speed and in general the speed of the game?
Well, okay, I think a lot of people are coming from faster paced games like Heroes of Newerth and League of Legends. So when they're making that transition to the Dota 2 beta, it might that too might contribute also, I think, to like the issue. For me, playing it, like after you play like 5 or 6 games, you kind of adjust. You get more acclimated to like the game environment, and the heroes like turn speed, I'm pretty sure is not a major factor or anything.
You don't think it's
I don't think so. No, I mean, no. Like Valve's making a concerted effort. I initially was really turned off by the game, but
really.
I initially was because the hero pool was incredibly limited.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And they're adding new heroes, new items. The game's like really balanced. I like it a lot. I don't know.
the Steam client, we were going to talk a little bit about how it integrates into Dota 2. And so how do you feel about it so far?
Good.
Yeah.
I feel really good. I like how, like, I don't know, we were definitely planning on addressing the fact that you can sit in a queue and then watch a game at the same time, like spectate.
Spectate mode, yes.
Yeah, it was just awesome.
The camera is, the intelligent camera is actually legitimately intelligent.
It's really good.
It bounces around the map. It nails every team fight, every engagement going on. It's really good. And you can while you're waiting to queue, which usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes right now. I think max peak I've seen so far, people online has been like around 20,000. I mean, it's growing daily, but it still takes a few minutes to get a game going. So you can just chill and watch like a relatively high level game,
right?
And not have to touch the mouse at all.
You'll get to watch usually, like they have 4 games that are showcased on like I guess the front of the UI while you're in queue, and usually they're pretty high level. Like they're 2 minutes behind though, right? To ensure no cheating, right? No sniping.
Sort of like how Guild Wars used to be. If you ever play Guild Wars,
I never have, but.
Well, it kind of uses the same spectating system. It's just delayed a few minutes, so like you can't stream snipe, stream cheat somebody. Okay, so the past few patches they've done to the game since the end of December was they added Spirit Breaker, Silencer. Last week they added Invoker, and then yesterday they added Clinks. I haven't had a chance to play Clinks yet because I'll pick World.
Fun hero, cheesy hero, imbalanced hero.
You think Silencer's cheesy?
I think Silencer is incredibly annoying early.
Oh yeah,
to lane against. Like you just kind of have to play around his like curses or whatever.
Now a little off topic. Do you prefer curse harass Silencer or like glaive stats? I'm gonna body you like 10 minutes into the game.
So that I don't know. That boils down to like. My Dota origins, like basically, the way I was taught to play, I played 100 games of Warlock. I'm not sure you remember that here.
Yeah, of course.
Warlock and 100 games of Glacius, like just buying out all the wards, playing support. So like, support's like in my blood, and it's weird to say, awkward to say, but like Silencer, yeah, I love curse spam just because it's a good early harass skill. And like you can try to keep them off your teammate. Or
I remember when it went from single target to AOE.
Yeah,
and I was just.
I remember when it was single target. yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. But you can definitely play them different ways.
Okay, now back to Clinks. They added backdoor protection. I don't know when they added this in Dota because I think I was gone by this time. I was fed up Dota World.
I think it was always in place in this game.
In Dota 2, it's always been. But was it ever added in Dota 1? Do you know?
Was it ever
backdoor
added?
protection?
No, I don't think it was. Like how they dealt with it was the tournament rules would just say like you can't do X, Y, Z. Like if creeps are not in the base, you can't hit.
Really? That was tournament guidelines? Like
I think
if there's no creeps in your tower, you can't.
Tournaments would ensure that you wouldn't get like 5 of a really cheesy item or something. Like 5 Arcane Ring, 5 Yule Scepter. Every tournament has different rules.
Well, backdoor protection in Dota 2 means is if there's no creep within a certain radius of unit, I don't know what the unit radius is, the tower rapidly regenerates health. So any damage you do is quickly negated by the regen. Yeah. So it's incredibly hard to backdoor. And that's, when I remember Clinks from Dota, I think backdoor flame arrows just like tearing down your structures. And then him being invisible and then running off.
Clinks.
Yeah, Clinks. Okay, now next we're going to talk about the recent item additions they've done the past 2 weeks. We're just going to go down the list here.
Sure.
Veil of Discord.
Awesome for outputting a lot of magic damage on the enemy team.
Basically,
I think it's a needed item.
Basically, it's the inverse of the Pipe of Insight. It applies a debuff to all enemy units within a 500 radius.
Sure.
Causing them to have reduced magic resistance for duration and amplifies magic damage by 25%.
Blow them up. Yep.
Yeah, and it doesn't.
Essentially.
It's the Helm of Iron Will, Robe of Magi. It costs $26.50. And you feel that's going to be heavily used?
I mean, I think so. I'm going to heavily use it because of the heroes I use.
Pipe being overused, possibly broken.
I think so.
Not broken, but
Pipe's not a new item. Like Pipe's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I forget what it was called, but it wasn't always Pipe of Insight, was it?
I think in Dota it was. In Han it's Barrier Idol. But
that's where I remember.
Yeah. But
all right, next
what
item.
About the next item? Yeah.
Ring of Aquila. I don't know if that's correct pronunciation. It's basically a Wraith Band plus the Ring of Basilius. And I was trying to think of an instance for this to be useful, like possibly an agility hero needing the bonus armor and magic regen.
Yeah.
Could you think of circumstances where this would be beneficial?
Well, how about like an Andromeda, or not an Andromeda? What's the hero? Vengeful Spirit.
Vengeful Spirit. Yeah. You know what's funny? I call them by their original Dota names sometimes too, like Lifestealer. Everyone calls them Lifestealer. I'm like, Nyx. Oh, Nyx is at me. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, dude, I did it again.
What's funny is if you use the names from other games, like while you're playing Dota 2 and like voice chat, like they'll just rage at you. It's like really weird. They're so bad mannered. But I think the ring was good because like sometimes you need like an early Wraith Band or two if you're like side laning, and those items become kind of useless late game. So it's nice to be able to like turn those items into something useful in like the immediate mid game. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
Yeah.
I was racking my brain thinking about that the other night. I was like, it just seems like such a like small addition to the game.
Right.
But anyways, on to the next item, Tranquil Boots.
AKA out of combat boots.
Out of combat boots.
AKA
restores 150 HP over 10 seconds to the user. Only usable out of combat. Costs 24 mana, 40-second cooldown. Bonus 3 HP regen per second, plus 3 armor.
Kind of absurd. Those bonuses are kind of nuts. But did you read or like hear about the downside? Like if you get hit 3 times, the boots turn into normal boots.
3 times within 10 seconds.
Within 10 seconds, they turn into normal boots.
Yeah, and then this lasts.
So you lose all those bonuses. You lose the 3 armor. You lose the HP regen.
Do you know off the top of your head if you can? Oh, I guess you can't use the active if it actually turns into just boosts the speed. Does the item actually? You can't use the active if you're under attack?
You cannot.
You cannot use the active.
No.
Okay. Next item. This is the one we were talking about before. Rod of Athos. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Plus 25 intelligence, 250 health. It has an active cripple effect. Slows the target's movement speed by 50% for 4 seconds. It has a cast range of 800 units and a cooldown of 20 seconds. Costs 50 mana. 2 wizard staffs, vitality booster, costs 3,100. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's kind of overpriced for what it does, but I'm not sure. Who knows how it's going to play into the metagame right now? It's a new item. I love like how it takes 3 really basic items that are necessary and like combines it to do something interesting that's never been done before. So
yeah,
I think it's really cool.
When I was thinking about this before, I was thinking about like casters that leave and go gank, and I was like Lion, like Rasta, possibly.
Yeah.
Like you are not getting away from these guys if they have this item.
Yeah, I think that they could definitely benefit from it for sure.
Again.
No, I think you're right. Shadow Shaman.
Shadow Shaman.
But I think no, you're right.
I don't know.
Rasta is
my Dota identity crisis.
Heroes have like names too, so
yeah, it's names and then like classes.
Yeah.
Okay, last we're going to talk about the Heaven's Halberd, and this is something we both felt that strength heroes needed. Plus 25 damage, plus 20 strength, 25% evasion. I didn't even realize this. I guess I didn't think about the talisman factoring into this. It has a smaller maim than what you get on the S and Y, but it has an active ability called Disarm, which removes the target's ability to attack, lasts 4 seconds on ranged targets and 3 seconds on melee targets.
I think it was a needed item. Like, strength heroes needed a way to deal with really overpowered like agility heroes late game. So like, the ability to like go toe to toe with someone like for 4 seconds. You know, it gives you that small window, and then a support hero can step in and assist you in like killing that.
It gives you a reason to get the evasion talisman as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Which is a great item in and of itself. I mean, very underrated item.
Yeah, I mean, what recipe is it used for? Like butterfly?
Butterfly. I mean, in Dota 2, I'm not exactly 100% familiar.
I don't know what other recipes it's involved in, but you don't generally get butterflies on strength heroes.
What's interesting is it takes the Sange, like the strength part of like Sange and Yasha. A lot of Chinese teams have been like not even getting Yasha. They've just been getting like Sange and like carries. So that's
just
kind
like
of a nod
with that
to
for
them.
most of the game. Just not even ever giving it. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that goes. That's it for all the items they recently added. These are brand new items. They added these to the original Dota too. I know they're updating Dota.
They are.
And so these are added to Dota as well as Dota 2 at the same time, which is kind of cool. Okay, so at this stage of development, what is the current metagame, and how do these items and lack of heroes that exist in Dota 1 but not 2 yet, how does it affect the current metagame?
I don't know. I feel like So there's a hero, Night Stalker, which like when he makes it night, like you're just not safe on the map pretty much. Like in Dota 1, he's not really that big a threat, I guess. But like right now, he's absolutely insane. And then there's heroes like Anti-Mage, which are he's broken in Dota 1, Dota 2, other iterations like Han. Like it doesn't matter. Like so the metagame is like, it seems like there's a lot of good support items though. Like we mentioned a ton of items that like support heroes can get, which will really like shift the game in their team's favor. But there's a lot of other items we didn't even get to like address too, like that are unique to Dota 2 and Dota 1. And so I think it's like a support-oriented metagame, and I really like it a lot because I'm a support player. So.
Okay, now these are some questions I picked up from various IRC channels and Reddit and whatnot. Concede is a big thing in Dota 2. There's no concede. There's never concede. And I think IceFrog specifically stated he has no intention of ever adding it. But he said that about the...
bold. It's a bold statement.
Bold statement.
Who it hurts the most is the casual player who plays by himself, you know? It's like you're looking to squeeze that quick like 20-minute game in before work or doing something else, you know? Like I'm gonna go hit the gym. Let me go squeeze a 20-minute or
and you go get upset real quick.
And then like it's like the longest like drawn out agony. You're just like let
me just sit the well until they decide to end it. I don't know.
So I think that it's good because it gives people an opportunity to see like what bugs exist in the game. I think that
as far as beta goes, I believe it's a good thing.
Yeah,
because there are a lot of bugs that are getting patched every week.
And like, I like the fact that you don't concede because it just gets people to like also discover games that they previously thought that games or situations they previously thought were unwinnable are now winnable. You know, like don't give up. Giving up is just such a terrible thing. Like, who taught people to give up?
We need more games where you
know what I mean?
You're kind of like discouraged from giving up. Like I know in
people
law,
are just like
I know in law if you queue with anybody outside of like a 2 or 3 man group, surrender 20. Like if they feed,
exactly,
it's like it's like God, I gotta deal with this guy
they die twice, game's over.
All right, I'm gonna chill here. I'm gonna get my IP bonus or whatever.
It's terrible.
Okay, now visible matchmaking stats. I know
stats are terrible. Ruin the game, in my opinion.
Did it ruin your Han? I mean, you couldn't have ruined Han that bad for you because you're pretty established in that community, right?
I mean, I think it doesn't ruin the community for me personally, but like I just think kids get the wrong idea like about the game. Like the point of the game is to win. It's not to like show off your stats after the game or like you know,
think there's
accrue
the whole
some sort of number which like reflects how good you are.
Like the elitist ELO, your kill death ratio's got to be at least 1.5 if you're going to be in my game. I'll remove you right now.
Like they'll never let you go mid if you like have a KD below 1.0 or something. But yeah, I mean I think hidden stats are fine because like it's you need something to be able to like match your squad up with someone else's squad, right? Like you need some determination. But like I love in Dota 2 how like no matter how bad you do in a game, it's just one game. Like there's no like written record like erected in stone, like etched there for aeons for like everybody to see and like reflect on.
The Dota Bible.
The Dota Bible, like you failed today, so that's it for you.
Okay, now next question, drama question. How are Han players doing relative to Dota players in Dota 2? Do you specifically know how well they're doing?
So I play more with the high level Han players than I do the Dota 2 players. So take what I say with a little grain of salt, but I believe that like the really good Han players can probably hang with the best Dota 2 players.
The fundamentals.
The fundamentals. Then again, like the US scene of Dota and Han is not as strong compared to like China and Europe. So.
But you also
I think they're adapting.
You said earlier,
like
you said you've seen like sicko European players.
Insane, yeah, absolutely.
That were good in Han and they're doing well in Dota 2
absolutely.
as well, right?
Yep.
So okay. What the pros and cons of it being free to play? Because I know that was kind of a rumor. Like they were going to do the LoL model.
It matches the LoL model. So
matches the LoL model. So we're going to have 1 billion people playing it.
Yeah. I kind of wish that the beta was more open. I wonder if it's like a server issue, or maybe they want to build up interest because of its exclusivity. I really have no idea.
I know for the year that Han was in beta, it was about a year, right? Maybe a little more. There was like upwards of 40,000 people in the beta.
Yeah,
and the most I've seen in Dota 2 so far, and it's been out. How long has the beta been out now? 5 months?
5 months, 6 months. I don't know. Yeah.
The highest I've seen was 20,000. So I mean, I heard invites are going out daily, but it's getting up there. So maybe it'll be a better experience coming up.
Yeah.
But free to play, you think? I guess you said earlier it does run on everyone's computer, because I know in LoL it's free to play. So that means people with they're running it on their Abacus and their T1 calculators. Like you set the load screen. I'm gonna go make a pizza real quick.
I'm gonna go make a pizza.
I'm gonna go literally make a pizza.
I literally feel that way when I'm playing with kids like that who have terrible computers. I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna go like make some coffee or something.
I'm gonna go make a dinner
while your hamster's like waking up.
Yeah. Okay. Differences between Dota 2, Han, and LOL that may or may not have people switch over.
Differences. LOL has all those cute girls making the like introductory videos or whatever. They're adorable, but
the anime girls.
If you're into that. No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like on their front page they have like like hey, this is Cindy or whatever, and I'm gonna tell you about this new hero. I'm just like,
what was that? What's that girl's name?
Whatever you gotta do.
That walks you through the.
Gotta get that money.
Yeah, I suppose. So you
I mean, honestly, like game elements.
You think it's gonna be too rough if they don't have a good tutorial or like a good entry into the game?
Isn't there a tutorial in Dota 2? Like, don't they have like
I know there's a learn tab,
learn to play?
But there's no
learn tab.
But
like
it's basically you click the hero and then it shows you like, and it gives you lore. It does give you a little bit of lore.
Oh yeah, like this hero is.
But that's not. It doesn't like. Okay, there's secret shops. There's rune spawns. There's an item called the ward.
Right. You should become very familiar with that if you're starting to play.
Smoke is a seed. I suppose it's becoming a big thing now.
Yeah. I don't know. I
guess that's a slippery.
I don't think like the games are like League of Legends, Han, and Dota 2. Like, I don't know. Those games are all very comparable in like how to become good. Like if you're good at any one of those games, I feel like you could be good at all of them. Probably.
You think denying?
That depends on
denying's gonna turn people off. And like how nasty a lane can get if you're a melee hero going up against ranged, because it's.
I think it'll turn some people off because some people aren't into that kind of passive
this
lane
is too
control.
hardcore for me. I'm a little too casual for this game. I don't like getting bodied.
Quote unquote. Yeah.
Okay.
No one does. I don't know.
Okay. Last question.
Sure.
I guess this is factoring. This is part of the previous question. How do new players adjust themselves to this very caustic community?
It's hard. Right now, like, there are a lot of streamers who kind of get their viewers from being very caustic. In Heroes and New Earth especially, like, there are a few streamers who will drop, like, macros, like, huge ASCII pictures, just like pictures of like toilets and like like GG bro. Like they'll just pause the game and just be like GG like after they kill you once.
What was that? Was it?
It's not good for the community.
What was that one Pudge player? Wigglebilly or
Jigglebilly? I've watched the video. Yeah. Like it's so funny how like little things like that will get you famous, but I mean people love watching that stuff. I don't know.
But are people gonna want like? I'm gonna start playing Dota 2. Can I handle playing against someone like this? That's gonna
be incredibly annoying,
be crazy, and post my death online, make me infamous.
I think just be familiar with like the mute option and the ignore, like being able to ignore someone in game and just play your game. Like I feel like since Han is like largely, I think it's largely like a North American game. Like I don't know, Americans are just very bad-mannered, and like in Dota 2 and Dota, like very well-mannered community. Like League of Legends less so. I don't know. I just think like
I don't know about that. I get on League of Legends and I freak out. I let everyone know what's up when I'm playing League of Legends.
Oh man, I'm glad I'm not in your games then.
You're better off not playing that game. Okay, that's about it. That wraps up our Dota 2 discussion today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like always, follow those guys on Twitter, our YouTube,
Please
subscribe. Facebook, add us.
Yeah.
Facebook?
Sure.
I'm Conan, this is Alfred. I'll see you next time, guys.
Thanks. Thank you.